Hey there, legends. Just going to have a quick video run through of how easy it is to manage your SuperCoach team using NRL SuperCoach Pro. So what we're going to do is I'm going to run through just syncing your team to our various reports to show you how easy it is. So we're going to start off with our best buys by projected value. We have two different best buys lists, one that sorts players by projected value and the other that sorts players by likely round increase. Now, this is right at the start of the season, so players haven't played their third game yet, so we don't have any round increases. But once we hit round, at the end of this round, basically, this will become live. Okay, so one thing you can do if you haven't found this yet, you can always close the side menu if you like. Now, with this particular report, I want the extra screen space, so I'm going to keep that closed. Now, I'm going to go to select your team and just start typing in part of your team name to find it. Here, my NRL Supercoach Pro down here. Had a reasonably solid first round. Okay. Now, two things you can do with all of these report pages we're going to run through is once you've linked your team, you can filter these to all players, only your players, or excluding your players. And one thing I always like to do starting off my decision making each round is just check in on how healthy my squad's looking. Um, so I'm going to set this to only my team. Okay, and this is now giving me a snapshot of the projected value just for the players I have. And as you can see, I'm pretty value packed. A lot of dark green there. A little bit of orange here, which is a little bit of value there, not a lot, but that's okay because they're not supposed to be value picks. One Serby Farnworth, the other's Payne Haas. Scott Drinkwater, um, yeah, he's taken a big hit with that 21 last week, so all of his numbers have come right down. And then I've got two nuppies here, Miles Martin and Ethan Roberts. So they're just showing up as basically just null. Um, okay. Now the other thing we can then do is have a look at our best buys by projected value, not including my players. So, what are some of the options I've currently got left behind? Well, Macassini, if he keeps his spot. I'm personally a little bit dubious. I think Skelton, who's been out with the shoulder niggle, is probably going to send Macassini back to a lower grade to cut his teeth a little bit. It's notable that Skelton isn't listed in the New South Wales Cup Magpies team this round. So that's just one reason why I've kind of stayed off there. Ryan Couchman, that'll be one player that I'll be looking at converting one of my nuffs to next week. A couple of others there that I may consider. So this is now giving me that because I'm looking at this now from the perspective of players I don't have, is giving me the a good idea of the best buys for this week. If I want to make any trades, these are the sort of players I would be looking in on. Okay. Now, as I said before, one of the big things in Supercoach culture is players having their first two games and then having a massive negative break even and being a cash grab the next week. So, yep, we can do that as well. As I said, we've also got best buys by likely round increase, which will turn on next week. When we get to mid-season, this page becomes quite handy. Best buys, so we can actually have a look at which players are popping up as good buys, playing both round 12 and 15 quite easily. And this also takes into account we have uh, player listings that we manage for likely Origin players and definite Origin players. So players like Nathan Cleary, even if Penrith are playing that round, they won't show up here at all. Players in orange come up as possibles. We don't have any possibles flagged yet. We'll do that as we're closer to origin time. But that's there for later. Other pages we've got that are very handy early in the week. Our approximate break evens, of course. And again, you can do that by just your team to see what your players' break evens are, or by excluding your team. Highest money makers, highest money losers. These will become live after round three when we get some price movement. At the moment, they're nil list, so there's no point having it active. Peaking players and price drop watch list. These two will become so. Price drop watch list isn't supposed to be active at the moment. I'll close that off again at the end of this video. These will become active once we start getting price movement, and these become very good for looking at when you need to move players on. So I usually tend to have a look at peaking players from the perspective of only my team because I'm looking at when it's the right time to upgrade or cash out those guys. And price drop watch list. So we're looking for depreciated assets there. For example, round three, round four, Scott Drinkwater could well and truly be on this list, depending on how his scores go over the next couple of weeks. Now that he's had a 21 round one. Our rankings and projections page. So this again, you can look at from the perspective of players I don't have. So if I exclude my team, I'm looking at the gun players that I don't have at this point in time. So I don't own Tedesco, I don't own May. I might be owning Tom Trebojevic in a couple of hours. And I've just accidentally clicked on Tom Trebojevic there. If you actually click on the player, it will take you through to their player profile page in a new tab. So you can go straight back. Okay, we have an overachievers and underachievers page. So these pages are especially designed. There's nothing really in them yet because we don't have enough games under our belt. But they are designed to look at players that are outperforming our projections and underperforming our projections. So nobody's projection sets 100%. We always wanted to have something in there where you could, where we can actually look for, well, what's possibly falling between the cracks in the way we're projecting players. You can also look at teams from a team list perspective. This is really handy if you want to look at how we're projecting a team overall, what sort of minutes we're projecting through the entire forward pack. Um, and yeah, then we come down to our player forecast and price break even forecast pages. So our price break even forecast, this is where you can have a really good look at what players' price movements are likely to be. We're very flexible. We show you the opponents coming up and allow you to put in any scores you want. So if you happen to think that the Cowboys can put 100 and that Scotty Drinkwater can score 120 against the Tigers this round, and then 95 against Gold Coast next week, before having maybe a tougher game round four. You can put in any scores you like and get calculations back of their break even moves and their price moves going off those scores. Now, if you also want to have a deeper look at a player and how we've come up with their projection, you can go to player forecast. So if we pull up Nathan Cleary, we can see here that we're projecting Panthers as being a top four team. His opponent's expected ranks, his role is right half, minutes 80. We have him with the goal kicking. His goal kicking percentage we have is 86%. and game by game, you can see um, how many goal kicking points he's been projected for, what his break even week to week is, what the projection we have for that particular round is. So as you can see, against a team in the top four, we had him as scoring 74. Against an opponent not going to make the eight, we had him with a projection of 90. Against a bottom four team, we have him projecting as about 99. So you can see week by week how we're actually coming up with the numbers and the values that we're coming up with. Okay, look, that's going to do it for this video. There's a good few pages there that you can make good use of. We also have a POD radar page, by the way. So if you're really big on pods, then yeah, you can put in percentage ceiling. You can put in the value, uh, the minimum value you want in a player. So if you're happy with the pod that's currently got projected 50,000 value in them and with a maximum ownership of 7%, then you can input whatever variables you want there, and we'll give you back a list of who we have fitting that criteria. That can come down to positions as well, if you like. That can come down to price variables if you want to put those in as well. So you're totally in control of the output you want to get out of that page. Going to wrap that up here. There's plenty of pages there for you to have a bit of a play with. The more you play with them, the more you master them, the more you know what they do, and you basically before you know it, you're just going to be pulling up the pages that's going to give you the information you want, pretty much on autopilot. Best of luck for round two and for the rest of the season, and we'll catch up with you again soon.